Hello there, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Sanu. Good evening. Welcome to the live session of BYJU'S exam prep. So, we are going to wait for some more time and then we will kickstart the session today. And it is going to be part 2 of reading comprehension for MAH CET MBA 2022. Alright, so we are going to wait for some time. I hope you're doing good, Sanu. सब कैसा चल रहा है? All good. I hope you are practicing well, solving the mocks. Athar, hi Athar, good evening. Ashish, hi sir. Great to see you again. Great to see you too, Ashish. It's always pretty overwhelming for me, let me tell you, to be, coming to you people and we are meeting every week, solving good questions, and we are really working hard, isn't it? Okay. Siba Patek. Good evening, Siba. How are you doing there? All right. So, just in case those who don't know me, let me give you a quick intro about myself. I am Pradip Sengupta, your BARC mentor, and I welcome all of you to BYJU'S exam prep. And this is what we are going to discuss today. Most popular questions, reading comprehension part 2. Sameer, good evening. Sameer Sheikh. Dharmi Thakkar, good evening. Nandini, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so quite a few of you are here, right? यार आप लोगों से एक request है. If you really like this session, please यार like किया करो because we really want you people, appreciating us as much as we appreciate you because you come every week and we talk to each other. So at the end of the day, a good day's work is always proven by the kind of appreciation we get from our viewers and from our students. All right, this is something which money cannot buy. All right, so I request you people to please like our session, subscribe to BYJU'S exam prep, and share it with your friends. And don't forget to press the bell icon. So, something for the endorsement. And now we are going to start the session on reading comprehension. Now, we have had quite a few sessions on reading comprehension, isn't it? Dates are extended. Even I have heard so, Sameer, but I will not be able to comment on it. I'm yet to confirm and get back to you. But I think you are right. The dates are being extended. Good for us. We are going to get some more time to practice, isn't it? I hope you people are taking RC really seriously. Uh, okay, Ash has a question. Who all are repeating? So I don't know. You can talk to each other and see. Okay, so we have had a few sessions on RC, and today we are going to look at some more question types on reading comprehension. So before I start the session today, I thought that I should share my nuggets of thought with you. Okay, Rishikesh has already shared kar diya, sir. Thank you so very much, Rishikesh, dear. Thank you so very much for sharing it with your friends. I appreciate your initiative. The Wish Sailor. Good evening, Mr. Wish Sailor. Where are you sailing to? I think your ship is harbored right over here and we are talking. So next time when your ship sets sail, take me along. Okay. हाँ 2 महीने है ऋषिकेश एग्जाम को तो दबा के काम करेंगे और नंबर्स लेके आएंगे सो इट्स ऑल अबाउट वर्किंग 2 महीने है 2 महीने है भी 2 महीने नहीं भी है राइट दो तरीके से देखा जा सकता है द काउंटडाउन हैज बिगन नो सो काम तो करेंगे so सबसे पहली बात in RC which I would like to discuss with you because more or less we have discussed the concepts and we will still discuss a few questions when you read the passage, I mean, there are so many things which they ask you in the RC passages in MHCET. And since the passages and the information that is there in the passage is so direct and explicit, okay, it is there for you to, find out what is being asked. So it is very important to ensure when you read the passage, please be absolutely sure about the theme, the sum and substance of the passage. Please be absolutely sure about the theme and the message of the passage. Please ensure what is being asked. Okay, and since the questions are going to be full of information, the options are going to be full of information, so please watch out for वो जो questions होते हैं जो fact based होते हैं ना, dates, data, facts, dates, data, facts. Please make sure that you pay attention to those little details, because that is where the magic lies. All right, that is where the magic lies. Samir says Modi is here. What has that got to do with our session today? Are you referring to Mr. Our PM Samir? All right. Okay. Watch out for those fact-based questions. And in order to understand the facts, it is important that we understand the question very carefully. What is the question? Okay. Hindi mein there is a joke, and the joke says प्रश्न ये है कि उत्तर क्या है, right? So people think उत्तर is answer, but actually the answer is उत्तर एक दिशा का नाम है. That is the प्रश्न. उत्तर is a direction, north. So प्रश्न ये है कि उत्तर क्या है. That is why questions are the answers. If you read the questions carefully, you will drive home the answers. You will be sorted, for the rest of your lives, as far as this session is concerned. Okay. Identify the sentence in which the word is present and read it once. Now, this is a question. This is one-liner which is based on vocabulary. Okay. Sometimes they ask you questions on vocab. We will see some questions in the passage based on vocab. Identify that line and see how the word has been used. Sometimes, they don't ask you the real meaning. They don't ask you the real meaning. Okay, they ask you the figurative meaning of the word. Okay, what is the figurative meaning, the other meaning of the word, or the way that word has been used in the passage. Okay, look at the options very carefully, weigh your pros and cons, trust your instinct, and then go for the kill. All right, please trust your instinct and then go for the kill. So these are some of the areas which I wanted to discuss with you. You should pay attention to these areas, and let's see if we can apply the same on the questions that we are going to discuss today. So without any further ado, can I take you to the question straight away? All right. So here you see there is a very small passage. It is just, a very small passage from here to here. And once you read the passage, I will take you to the question slide. Okay, so we will begin with a small vocab based question, and then we will move into the other RC questions. All right, let's read the passage. I will give you 20 to 30 seconds to read the passage, and then we will discuss the nitty gritties. Sheikh Ishar, good evening. Hi Sheikh, how are you doing? Let's read the passage, guys. Okay, I think that self-imposed 20 seconds are up. Have you read the passage? Yes. Can we start the discussion? Ashish says yes. Sameer Sheikh says done. Ishar done. All right. So let us see what the passage has to tell us. What is the message that the passage wants to convey? Right? Now, this is an excerpt. Okay, a small part of a big passage. I have just taken a particular paragraph to discuss one particular question with you. All right. It goes like this. Finally, we need to reconsider our approaches to water governance. So we know that we are talking about something called water governance. All right. We must recognize that the fulcrum, or the most important point, the pivot, okay, or change, fulcrum of change and action is with the states. The responsibility lies with the state. For long, water resource departments in states have continued to follow the conventional approaches of supply augmentation. Augmentation means to increase, बढ़ा देना. Okay, supply augmentation, supplying the water supply, and they have used augmenting the water supply, they have used conventional approaches. The challenge is that of reorienting themselves towards deploying strategies of demand management, conservation, and regulation, putting them back to the zone of how to deploy strategies, how to manage demand, and conservation and regulation as far as water is concerned. The center has to work with states towards an institutional change for the necessary course shift. Now, we need the help and support of the center also to get this system going. The finance minister, in her budget, repeatedly stated that the government will work with the states to address India's national water security challenges. Let us hope that the government intends to, you need a word over here, A, intends to dash federal governance of water resources towards long-term water security. So you need a word over here to complete the sense of the entire RC. Okay, now let's look at the question. The question says, which of the following is the most suitable word to fill the blank A as given in the passage? A says approach, B says destruct, C says strengthen, D says uncertain, and E says tinker. What do you think should be the option? If you want me to take you back to the passage, we can do so. We can do that. We can always go back to the passage once if you want to. Alright, done. Sanu says done. What is the answer? So is it done to the option that you have chosen, or do you want me to take you back to the passage, Sanu? Ashish says C, strengthen. Thank you. Ashish has given the first answer today. He says option C. What about the others? Gorakh Kale Patil. Gorakh also says C. Okay, thank you, Gorakh. Thank you, Ashish. The others? All right. Let us go back to the passage once. Am I okay? Let me take you back to the passage. All right, guys. Now, if you pay attention to this part, the finance minister repeatedly stated that the government will work. Now, we are being shown over here in the passage that the government is going to take some initiative, okay, and which is going to be positive, not negative, okay, to address India's national water security challenges. Let us hope that the government intends to dash. Now, whatever the intention of the government is, over here, we are talking about the intention of the government, and the intention of the government, if you look at the tone of the passage, the tone is the government is trying, okay, to solve the crisis, okay, and so the initiative taken by the government, the intention of the government has to be positive. So we need a very positive word over here. Okay. Yes, Krishna, we are on the passage. We are on the passage. Okay, so the word that you choose must have a very positive tone to it. All right. Now, if you go back to the question, the first one talks about approach. Approach is a noun. Over here, 2 plus 2 plus dash, you need a verb form over here. Okay. Now, if you go by grammar, you see that you need a verb form. After 2, you cannot have a noun. So 2 plus verb is an infinitive. 2 plus verb is an infinitive. So you need an infinitive over here. Yes, एक infinitive चाहिए. लेकिन approach को तो eliminate कर देंगे हम. क्यों? It's a noun. It's gone. इसको eliminate करिए. Destruct is a very negative word. Krishna, I hope you have seen the passage. Okay. Destruct means to damage completely. Okay. To damage completely. That is destruct. It's a negative word or a positive word? Tell me. It's a negative word. So can it go with 2? Can it go with 2 although it's a verb? I told you already that we need a positive word over here. So B cannot be the option again. C is very strong. It says strengthen, to empower, right? To make something strong or stronger. If you go back to the passage, it says intends to strengthen federal governance of water resources towards long-term water security. So don't you think strengthen makes sense? It's a very positive word and it goes with the feeling of the government. Okay. Uncertain. The future looks uncertain. Uncertain again is a noun. Uncertain is an adjective. Okay. It's an adjective. We need a verb. Uncertain is a neutral word, neither positive nor negative. So this cannot be the option. Okay. Tinker. Tinker means to fiddle with something. It's a negative word again. Okay. To fiddle with something. All right. To attempt to spoil anything. To attempt to spoil. That's tinker. We can say don't tinker with the object. So tinker is also out. The only option that we are left with is strengthen. So this should be the answer option, as most of you have stated. This is the answer. Strengthen is the answer for the first question. All right. Strengthen. Right. So now I hope you've understood how to go for the vocab selection, antonym selection, or the synonym selection in the RC passages. So understanding and having astute knowledge of the passage becomes very important, right? Read the passage, read through, understand the gist, understand the context in which the word has been used, and then try to figure out the meaning. That was the first passage for us. All right. So there is no need to rush through. Read karo, आराम से पढ़ो, answer अपने आप आएगा. All right. Ashish, what is this no for? I think you got the answer right. Okay. Strengthen is the answer. Okay. All right. Now let us solve one more question. Are we ready? Let us solve one more question. Okay. Please read this passage very carefully. Let me know once you finish reading. All right, let me now take you to the next slide. I hope you all have read the passage. Here we go. Okay, time's up. Now let me take you to the next slide. Don't worry, just in case you have missed reading some of the paragraphs, we are going to go and discuss the paragraph and the entire passage once again. All right, guys, I hope you have finished reading. Now let us do the passage together and then we'll hit the questions. All right? Okay. Now, as you can see that the passage is on sarcasm. The passage is on sarcasm. Now, I will read it slow so that all of us are on the same page. It says, sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. Wit means what? Wit means humor. Okay. With some sharpness in the tone. Right? Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, but the highest form of intelligence, wrote that connoisseur of wit, Oscar Wilde. What is connoisseur? An expert. Okay. Or judge of something, especially taste. Okay. That is connoisseur. Of wit, Oscar Wilde. Who is Oscar Wilde? A writer, a famous writer. Whether sarcasm is a sign of intelligence or not, communication experts and marriage counselors alike typically advise us to stay away from this particular form of expression. So we have been warned not to be sarcastic. The reason is simple. What is the reason? Sarcasm expresses the poisonous sting of contempt. What is contempt? Contempt is disrespect. Okay. Sting, you know what sting is? Bite of disrespect, and that is what sarcasm is all about. Hurting others and harming relationship. These are the negative impact of sarcasm. As a form of communication, sarcasm takes on the debt of conflict, right? Debt of conflict, we talk about issues which are unresolved because nobody wants to resolve it because somebody sounded sarcastic. So it actually widens the gap rather than bridging it. What? Sarcasm. That is what it means. And yet, now we are creating an exception over here. In spite of all the negativities that sarcasm entails, yet, lekin fir bhi, our research suggests that there may be some unexpected benefits of sarcasm. Greater creativity, for instance. The use of sarcasm, in fact, promotes creativity for those on both the giving and receiving end of sarcastic exchanges. How? Instead of avoiding sarcasm completely in the office, the research suggests sarcasm used with care and in moderation can be effectively used and trigger some creative sparks. It can be effectively used if used in moderation, sparingly, and it can bring some kind of effect in creativity. Okay? It activates creativity. This is the author's argument. Alright? Okay, so let me write down one of the arguments of the author. Then it says, sarcasm involves constructing or exposing contradictions, means oppositions, between intended meanings. Okay, what you intend to say and what you actually say differs when sarcasm is in the tone. The most common form of verbal irony, sarcasm, is often used to humorously convey thinly veiled disapproval. Right? Now, what is thinly veiled? Anybody? What is thinly veiled? Okay, thinly means lightly. Okay, covered means there was no intention to cover it. Thinly veiled. It was spoken or expressed with the objective of being understood and realized. So thinly veiled, scorn. Thinly veiled, scorn. What is scorn? Anyone? Contempt, insult, disrespect. Like this one, for example, Pat, don't work so hard, a boss might say upon catching his assistant surfing the internet. Look at the sarcasm. Okay, don't work so hard. Early research on sarcasm explored how people interpret statements and found that, as expected, sarcasm makes a statement sound more critical. Participants rated sarcasm to be more condemning than literal statements. Okay. What might sarcasm enhance? Why might sarcasm enhance creativity? If these are the negatives of sarcasm, why do we say then that sarcasm adds to your creativity? Why do we say so? Because the brain must think creatively to understand or convey a sarcastic remark. भाई sarcasm वही समझ पाएगा ना जिसके नमक में iodine होगा, right? This was also sarcastic. So anybody who understands the taste of salt will understand sarcasm. It is people with sense and sensibility. So it's actually it enhances your understanding power, the way you conceive things. That's what the author wants to say. Sarcasm may lead to clearer and more active thinking. All right. This is another benefit of sarcasm. To either create or understand sarcasm, tone must overcome the contradiction between the literal and the actual meaning of the sarcastic expression. So it is the tone that makes the remark sarcastic or bland or placid. Alright? This is a process that activates and is facilitated by abstraction. Okay? What is abstraction? Abstraction means something, dealing with ideas, dealing with the intangible things, dealing with something which is intangible, that is abstract. Okay, just a second. I think I lost you people. Oh, we are here. Okay, yes. All right. Abstraction, which in turn promotes creative thinking. Consider the following example, which comes from a conversation one of my friends had a few weeks before getting married. His fiancée woke him up as he was soundly asleep at night to tell him about some new ideas she has for their upcoming wedding next month, many of which were quite expensive. Okay. Now, to all the this girl had to say. Adam, the author's friend, he listened very carefully and then he responded with some ideas of his own. Why don't we get Paul McCartney to sing, Barack Obama to give a benediction? Benediction means blessings, okay? And Amy Kumar to entertain people. They are celebrities. So look at the sarcasm in his tone. His comment required his fiancée to recognize that there is a difference between the surface level meaning of the sentence and the meaning that was intended. I think, if you talk in terms of LOD, this passage was LOD1, an easy passage. Do you agree with me? Okay, very easy to understand, not very abstruse, nothing hidden, nothing to decipher. Everything is absolutely spick and span, clearly and very cleanly served on the palate, isn't it? So now, if this is the passage, let's look at the questions. Yes, here we go. Let us see question number 1. The question says, according to the passage, which of the following is most nearly the same in meaning as the word condemning as used in the passage? Okay. Okay, most of you have answered critical. Okay, let us go back to the passage once. Now, this line you have the meaning condemning. Participants rated sarcasm to be more condemning than literal statements. And how has it been used? You have to go back here. Okay, from here we start. Early research on sarcasm explored how people interpret statements and found that, as expected, sarcasm makes a statement sound more critical. Okay, more critical. Participants rated sarcasm to be more condemning than literal statements. Okay, the word is right here. So should we think that critical should be the answer? Now, critical has two meanings. Critical means given to criticism. It may also means important or crucial. Okay, it may also mean important or crucial. Condemning means insulting. Condemning means insulting. So if you look at the question properly, you will find out that now repressed, right? Repressed feeling, feeling which is stultified, suppressed, right? Losing doesn't make any sense. Deeming, what is deeming, guys? Anyone? Deeming means to consider, right? Critical may mean important or, criticizing, right? Convicted means accused, right? What makes you think that critical should be the answer over here? What makes you think that you should go with critical? What is condemn? Condemn means to criticize. And you have to see how the word has been used in the passage. All right. Condemning, right? Well, it should be this and not this. Critical is the answer. You people got this one right. Okay. So condemning means criticizing, disrespecting. All right. Okay. This was an easy one. Now let us see what this question has to ask. It says, according to the passage, what does sarcasm require? Now, I will not go back to the passage. Let's see how you answer this. According to the passage, what does sarcasm require? Yes, Ashish, I agree with you. Ashish is convicted means declare guilty. Yes, it is. To declare guilty by the court of law. Sheikh Isser says C. Modi Sarkar says C. All right. Shikhar Isser C. Ashish, I will be waiting for your answer. Saurabh Deshmukh says C. All right. Okay. Question number 2 says, according to the passage, what does sarcasm require? A says its intention is to cause hurt in the most profound manner possible. Sarcasm? What is the objective of sarcasm? To cause hurt, definitely. B says, in order to understand it, sarcasm, one need to be able to grasp abstract context. Okay. To understand things which are not tangible enough. C says, okay, one needs to. Its usage involves the employment of words contrary to the intended meaning. Contrary to the intended meaning. Okay. Employment means use of words opposite to the intended meaning. Is it C? Is it B? Is it A? Option A says only C. B says only A. C says B and C. D says A and B. E says all three A, B and C. Okay. Pay attention to these parts of the passage, guys. It says, sarcasm involves constructing or exposing contradiction between intended meanings. Yes. Sarcasm is often used humorously, convey thinly veiled disapproval or scorn. This part says in the second paragraph, because the brain must think creatively to understand or convey a sarcastic comment. Contradiction between the literal and actual meaning of sarcastic expressions. This is a process that activates and facilitated by abstraction. So we are speaking very positively about sarcasm. And if you go back to the passage, A says its intention is to cause hurt. Is the objective of sarcasm is to hurt people? B says to understand it, one need to be able to grasp abstract context, as we have seen in the passage. C says its usage involves the employment of words contrary to the intended meaning. So if you go by these options, don't you think the answer if you go back to the passage, if you look at this part, more condemning than the literal sense. This is where the passage is, right? This part. Sarcasm expresses poisonous sting of contempt, right? So even this is right. Hurting others and harming relationship. The author says so. So even this part is very smartly present in the very first paragraph. Okay, we missed this one out. That is why, if you look at the option, the answer over here should have been all the three, A, B, C. Okay, this should have been the option over here. Because this part, its intention is to cause hurt in the most profound manner possible, is present in the first para, the last couple of lines. And B and C were present in the para which we were discussing. Okay, that is why E should have been chosen. All the three, A, B and C. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Which of the following is true according to the author of the passage? Which of the following is true according to the author of the passage? So true and false based question है तुम्हारे सामने. Let's read. C, C, D, B, B, all right. Okay. A. So we have gone with A, B, D, C. So we have chosen A, B, C or D, either of them. Okay, either of these four. Okay. Are we going with E also? Sheikh says B, Modi Sarkar ji A, Sameer ji B, Ash B, Saurabh B, Ashish B. Okay. Now let us look at the content of the options, guys. तुमको ट्रू प्रूफ करना है. कौन सा ट्रू है? A says words used in sarcasm are to be considered for their literal meaning. True or false? B says sarcasm does not involve an element of humor in it. Sorry, does involve an element of humor in it. मतलब sarcasm में humor होता है. C says tone of voice is one of the essential components of conveying sarcasm. All right. If you look at the passage and look at this line, sarcasm is often used to humorously convey thinly veiled disapproval or scorn. It means humor is present, so B is true. Right? Going back to the passage, to either create or understand sarcasm, tone must overcome the contradiction between the literal and the actual meaning of sarcastic expression, which means even tone is important. Okay, it is true. Right? A says words used in sarcasm are to be considered for literal meaning. This is false. The passage says it can be inferred from the passage that both the literal and the figurative meaning is important. If you see, when the boss reprimands his subordinate by saying don't work so hard when he was surfing the net. So the figurative meaning is also important, and that is more important in sarcasm. Okay, it is more important than just the literal meaning. So A, I think, does not hold true. That is why the answer should have been B and C. That should be the answer. A is false, B is true, C is true, and now you know the reason why B and C are true. It is there in the passage, but F, right, sorry, A, it cannot be inferred from the passage. It is something which is not stated, right? Literal meaning, we need the figurative meaning also. And that is what sarcasm is all about. Okay. I hope question number 3 is clear to all of you. All right. This was an interesting question. Let's move on to question number 4. जल्दी से बताइए क्या होगा. My team is constantly requesting you, my friends, please like the session, like बढ़ाओ. To quote Navjot Singh Sidhu, like ठोको. इतना तो बनता है ना भाई. ओके, आंसर्स आने शुरू हो गए हैं भाई. सौरभ says A, Ashish says D, Siba D, Sheikh Isar D. Okay, great answers. Okay, चलो अब ध्यान से देखो. Right, read what is written, also try to read and understand what is not written. All right, क्या क्वेश्चन था? The question was, according to the passage, which of the following is not true? A says one needs to exercise restraint. What does it mean? Being careful. When you are restraining from making any comments, are you not being careful? Okay. B says sarcasm has the potential to damage relationship. Using sarcasm is devoid of any merits. Using sarcasm is devoid of any merits. Let's go back to the passage once. Okay. Read this part. Whether sarcasm is a sign of intelligence or not, communication experts and marriage counselors alike typically advise us to stay away from this particular form of expression. Why? Exercising restraint means to stay away. All right. Sarcasm has the potential to damage relationship. Read the latter part. The reason is simple. Sarcasm expresses the poisonous sting of contempt, hurting others and harming relationship. Sarcasm takes on the debt of conflict. Okay. So don't you think even this is present? Okay. C says sarcasm is devoid of any merit. इसको easy कर देते हैं. Does not have any merit. But in the second paragraph, the author says that there are some unexpected benefits from sarcasm. He goes on to say that there are benefits of sarcasm. So can we say that sarcasm does not have any merit or devoid of any merit, guys? बोल सकते हैं क्या? So, Which of the following is not true? C is not true. Option is D. Most of you have answered D, and that is the answer. All right? Absolutely stunning answer all of you have given. Okay, it's D. You know the reason why. Okay, congratulations. Let's look at the next question. All right. What did the author's friend actually mean when he said the following? Why don't we get Paul McCartney to sing, Barack Obama to give a benediction, and Amish Kumar to entertain people? Sameer has answered D. It should be D. All right. Saurav Deshmukh says E. So, okay. Thank you, Saurav. Thank you, Sameer. The others, Sheikh Ishar says E. All right. You people are really, really attentive, my friends. And that's what I call focus. Ash also says E. Thank you, Ash. Thank you. The others? All right. Let's look at the question now. The question says, what did the author's friend actually mean? Okay. When he said the following. So, don't you think he was being sarcastic? Okay. He was being sarcastic. He was taunting his fiancée. A says, the idea his fiancée gave for the wedding was a good one and needed encouragement. Was that the tone? This is a tone-based question. Was that the tone of the author's friend? B says, Paul McCartney, Barack Obama, and Amy Schumer could easily be asked to be present at his wedding. Okay. Are they celebrity figures, or is that the tone of the passage? You know the answer. He was friends with Paul McCartney, Barack Obama, and Amy Schumer. Even if he was, एक moment के लिए मान लेते हैं है, right? But the passage does not discuss this. So it is outside the scope of the passage. So even C is, it can be eliminated outrightly. People standing his wedding would love to hear people. Okay, it should be attending his wedding. Sorry. Would love to hear Paul, Barack, and Amy perform. Well, other than those given as options, should this be the answer? And all of you, as you people have guessed, E should have been the right answer option. Okay. So now you know that reading between the lines and being focused on the passage is so very important. And if you do that, MAH CET RCs are not going to be a very tough nut to crack, I think. Okay. Sab kar le jayenge is cheez ko. Okay. That brings us to the end of today's session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. You have liked it. And please share it with your friends. Okay. Yes. All right. So, try to solve 3 RCs per day if it is possible at all. Okay. 3 RCs डालेंगे रोज. Okay. 3 RCs a day. That is the medicine from my side. Okay. And you are going to get RCs 100% right if you can do that. All right. This is a small information for you. CAT 2022 comprehensive program being launched, and those who want to join our program, please call on the given number or write into us at support@byju'sexamprep.com. All right. Don't forget to like the session, comment on the session, share it with your friends, and subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep, all of you. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to meet once again with some other format of questions, which is going to be non-RC questions, some questions based on grammar and other stuff. So we are going to meet at the same time tomorrow, right? Stay tuned, and we are going to meet very soon. Okay. Subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get notifications. Follow us on Insta, YT, Facebook, join the Telegram group of ours, and download the Google app from. Okay. So that was it from my side. See you in the next class very soon. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you and goodbye for today. See you in the next class.